Morning, everybody. It's LeBron again. How's everybody this morning? Doing another Jog Talk. For those who are new to Jog Talk, this is Jog Talk number 19. And what I do is I share and point. So I'm not a guru, mentor, expert of anything as of yet. Teacher, but I do have 20 years of experience in self-help books and mentors and trainings. And what I have been able to develop is how to recognize powerful, effective ways of achieving your goals, pursuing them. And I get to share what those are and point you in the right direction. And the first step is to point you away from me. So today I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm on the series of giving, being a giver. But I had a huge kind of like revelation, epiphany, light bulb above the head. And I kind of wanted to share it. So many of you know me. I know that I own a business called Jacob's Ladder Productions. If you know the biblical story of Jacob's Ladder, it's really about elevating ourselves to a higher level through this 7-step process that was revealed to me. And what I want to talk about is, what I'm here on this earth to do. I'm here to do 3 things. One is to worship Yahweh, our Elohim, or you might call him Lord and God, as he truly is and actually exists. 2 is to raise happy, healthy, competent adults. I think I've achieved that. For Nicole, Shannon, and Olivia. And, Nicholas has got a great dad that's very involved in his life. And the third thing, biggest thing I get to focus on, because worshiping God is never something you take your focus off, and it's never something that you change. But now I get to work on helping people and professionals celebrate life. So the biggest thing that was on my mind today, and I'll make sure to kind of put in the heading, so if this is not something you're interested in, you can kind of skip it. But what's wrong with nightlife and what to do about it? So, a little brief history. Nightlife as we know it came about as the result of the sexual revolution in the United States in the 1960s. Because of that, people wanted a place to gather together and kind of express themselves. So really, I think the father of all nightclubs is Club 54 in New York. I think that's what set the standard. I think that's what set all the rules and regulations and the way we kind of do nightlife. And what I mean by that is anybody kind of going out to a nightclub, to anything to kind of enjoy each other's company. It might include small concerts, or it might include going out for a night on the town or whatever, but specifically I want to zero in on nightclubs. And there's a couple of things that I think are wrong with them now. One, I think, is the heart of the owner. I don't mean to be able to tell the heart of any person, but we can look at the evidence of what you're putting out there and kind of gauge at least where you're not going, what's missing, those kind of things. Secondly, for guys especially, it's a meat market. It's just a place to pick up women. Now, that's kind of receding. That's not changing now with, apps, dating apps like Plenty of Fish, which kind of amazes me. A lot of women actually expecting to find the love of their life on a site that's called Plenty of Fish. But I digress. Tinder, all those things. So you really don't need to go out to a nightclub and try to pick up chicks, right? You know, a lot of women go to hang out with their friends, kind of get in a circle, dance with each other, and then wonder why men don't approach them, you know. Some people are genuinely going out to have a good time with their friends or with their husband or, you know, with their boyfriend or, you know, that kind of thing. But that's the second thing. I think, you know, it's a meat market. You go out there for the women to kind of display themselves and the men to kind of chase after them. Some people like say, well, LeBron, I know you, brother, and you have no room to talk. Very true. Very true. But that's why I'm here to transform that, because I've been on both sides, you know. Third thing I think is that the business has not developed. It hasn't grown, you know. If you look at the history of Vegas, I love, you know, talking about the history of Vegas. So Vegas was started by the mafia, those that don't know. And it was really like this safe haven for all of the vices that the mafia profited in. And after a while, you know, especially if you saw the movie Casino, talks about that a little bit. After a while, major corporations started seeing the value of people as a family or as conventions or as all these other people that might be interested in a little getaway vacation, you know, in their own country. And what happened is the corporate America came in, brought in its organizational skills, brought in vision, brought in focus. I'm not saying their heart is better than the mafia or anything like that. I don't know the hearts of these corporations, but what I am saying is it brought in organization. So the third problem I see with nightlife is it's not as organized as it could be, as it should be. I mean, in its form now since Clubhouse, you know, Club 54, it's almost turning 40, almost 50 years old, and it hasn't grown. So what do we do about that? Well, what I do in my purpose and my business is to transform those three major challenges. One is to help owners understand that there's way more money in this business when you put money making aside. Now, I know a few owners that might be listening to this, if ever, might just spit the orange juice out. Like, what are you talking about, brother? But what I do mean is if you follow any rich person, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, if some of y'all like him, they'll tell you it's not about the money. It's not about the money. The richest people on earth always tell you it's not about the money. It might be about the game. It might be about the cause. It might be about transforming something. For Steve Jobs, it was truly about putting a dent in the universe. You know, for Bill Gates, it was about making a difference, becoming a revolutionary, you know, becoming a rebel through computers and changing the game, putting the power into the people's hands, truly by taking something that, you know, corporations had for years, and the only way you can access it is to own a corporation and have a whole lot of money and giving it to the people. So that's what it's all about. And for me, the reason why I got into this game is I really realized there was times when I went to the nightclub and I had such a good time. And it had nothing to do with chasing women or getting drunk and that's another problem, but we won't talk about that one today. Had nothing to do about any of those things. It had to do with genuinely meeting people that I'm good friends with to this day, dancing and performing for me, going out, you know, celebrating the fact that I made it through the week. You know, I had a good week, or, you know, I just made it. Not enough money to get in, and I don't drink a lot, so, you know, have a good time, or, you know, really, really kind of get to know myself. And that's very true, and that's very possible. Second challenge, again, is that no matter where you go, if it's church, if it's work, if it's, you know, any other religious organization, nightclub, going anywhere to find a woman, to find a man, to display yourself is, number one, barbaric, number one. Number two, it doesn't work because, and I don't mean to get too philosophical, but you got to find yourself first. So if you're going on Plenty of Fish or Tinder or the nightclub or church or the synagogue or whatever to find your, somebody to hook up with or to marry or to get a boyfriend or to display yourself, then really what you're going to attract is people doing the same thing. And here's what they're not doing. They're not looking for a genuine relationship. They're not looking for a genuine connection. And again, those who know me say, LeBron, you can't talk. You're right. But I'm the share and point guy. But I have experienced that. And that is what motivates me, is to create an environment. If you're at any of my events, I hope you can see or feel, and I'll take any feedback, that it's about really genuinely connecting with the theme, which might be jazz and wine, or it might be Latin tropical music, dance, and culture, or it might be just laughter and looking at the lighter things of life. What I'm trying to create is a genuine connection with those things. When you're out and you like to laugh, and you go out with a friend that likes to laugh, or you meet somebody that really likes to laugh, that's a connection. Or you meet somebody who really loves jazz music, and tasting wine and appreciating the different kinds of wine, that's a connection. When you no matter what culture you are and you love Latin tropical dancing, bachata, salsa, merengue, cumbia, punta, samba, all of that, if you like that, no matter what culture you, what language you speak, that's a connection. And, so there's that. So I kind of went over my time. I'll kind of pick it up later. I don't want to, these videos are getting too long. But so what I'm looking to do is transform the space. And what I'm looking to do is build a team of people who understand the power of celebrating life for life's sake, and who want to build a team with me. There's plenty of money to be made in this industry. There's plenty of opportunity. But for the most part, I'm looking for people who genuinely and authentically love celebrating life on or off the calendar, like I said, and I can talk about what that means later. That really want to make it a career. Until then, I just keep it pushing. I have a great assistant who helps me out a lot. That's it. So what is wrong with nightlife and what we could do about it? So you guys have a great day, and remember, find your purpose, follow your purpose, and encourage others to do the same.